Back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 8 best Japanese motorcycles from the 1970s that are known for lasting forever. Number 8. Honda CB504. The Honda CB504 ranks high among the best long-lasting Japanese motorcycles from the 70s. And that reputation comes from real numbers, not hype. Released in the early 70s, this model featured a 4-cylinder, 4-stroke air-cooled engine with a 498 cc displacement. Power output sat at roughly 50 horsepower, which at the time was more than enough to push the bike beyond 100 miles per hour. What truly set the CB504 apart was how heavily overbuilt it was. The engine used a single overhead cam layout paired with a forged crankshaft and tight manufacturing tolerances that resisted long-term wear. Many original engines surpassed 50,000 miles without rebuilds, and plenty went far beyond that with nothing more than routine oil changes. Wet weight was around 450 pounds, providing solid high-speed stability while remaining manageable for city riding. In the US market, the CB504 became famous for firing up every morning and surviving abuse that sidelined competitors. The electrical system stayed simple, the carburetors were easy to adjust, and the frame handled cracked pavement better than expected. Today, a clean rider usually sells for around $7,000, while restored examples can go higher without scaring buyers away. That alone speaks to long-term trust. In 2026, the Honda CB504 continues to prove that a well-built Japanese motorcycle from the 70s can outlast owners, trends, and even time itself. Number 7. Suzuki GT 750. The Suzuki GT 750 entered the American market in 1971 and quickly developed a reputation unlike anything else on the road. It featured a water-cooled 3-cylinder 2-stroke engine producing roughly 67 horsepower, a massive figure for the early 70s. Wet weight came in near 550 pounds, giving the bike impressive highway stability that lighter 2-strokes simply couldn't match. Its longevity came from engineering decisions that were rare at the time. Suzuki added liquid cooling to manage heat, the biggest enemy of high-output 2-stroke engines. The crankshaft was heavily reinforced, oil injection minimized internal wear, and cylinder temperatures remained consistent even during long freeway rides. Many owners recorded 30,000 to 40,000 miles without major engine failures, something almost unheard of for a large 2-stroke in that era. In the US, the GT 750 earned the nickname Water Buffalo. Because it refused to overheat in traffic or desert conditions, it could hold 75 miles per hour for hours, something earlier 2-strokes struggled to achieve. Fuel economy averaged in the mid-30s, respectable for its performance level in the 70s. Today, clean GT 750 examples sell for around $8,000, with original bikes often valued higher. In 2026, the Suzuki GT 750 remains one of the very few 2-stroke motorcycles from the 70s that truly earned a reputation for lasting far longer than anyone expected. Number 6. Yamaha RD 250. The Yamaha RD 250 arrived in 1973 and quickly built a solid reputation in the US as a lightweight motorcycle that could take real use without falling apart. It used an air-cooled parallel twin 2-stroke engine producing around 30 horsepower. Wet weight hovered near 350 pounds, giving it an excellent power-to-weight ratio while keeping engine stress under control. What allowed the RD 250 to last longer than most 2-strokes was its tuning. Yamaha avoided extreme compression and aggressive port timing, which kept heat levels down, the primary reason 2-strokes failed early. The Autolube oil injection system supplied consistent lubrication to the crank and pistons, reducing long-term wear. Many owners reported reaching 30,000 miles before needing major engine work, a respectable number for a 1970s 2-stroke. On American roads, the RD 250 proved practical. It cruised comfortably at 65 miles per hour without feeling strained and still felt quick around town. Today, a clean RD 250 typically sells for about $4,000, with original examples often commanding higher prices. That value reflects a bike that still runs properly, not just one that looks good. In 2026, the Yamaha RD 250 stands as proof that a well-engineered Japanese motorcycle from the 70s could survive real miles and real riding. Number 5. Suzuki GT 380. Introduced in 1972, the Suzuki GT380 was a middleweight motorcycle, designed with durability in mind rather than chasing top speed. It featured an air-cooled three-cylinder two-stroke engine producing roughly 38 horsepower. Wet weight stayed close to 400 pounds, helping stability while preventing the engine from being pushed too hard. The GT380's longevity came from careful engine tuning. Compression remained moderate, and port timing favored smooth power delivery instead of aggressive hits. This reduced heat buildup, the leading cause of early two-stroke failure. Suzuki's oil injection system provided steady lubrication to the crank and pistons, limiting wear over long distances. Many U.S. owners reported 40,000 miles or more with only routine maintenance, an impressive figure for a 1970s two-stroke. For American riding conditions, the GT380 worked well. It could cruise between 65 and 70 miles per hour without overheating or losing power. Today, clean examples usually sell for around $5,000. In 2026, the Suzuki GT380 proves that a properly engineered Japanese two-stroke from the 70s could last far longer than most people ever imagined. Number 4. Honda CB450. The Honda CB450 debuted in 1965 but earned its true reputation throughout the 1970s in the US as one of the toughest middleweight motorcycles ever sold. It used a four-stroke parallel twin engine producing around 43 horsepower, a strong output for its time. What made the CB450 last seemingly forever was its engine design. Honda employed a dual overhead cam setup that allowed safe high revs while keeping internal wear low. The crankshaft and valve train were massively overbuilt, and the engine ran cooler than many competitors. Owners regularly push these bikes beyond 50,000 miles with only routine oil changes, valve checks, and basic carb service. On American highways, the CB450 was dependable. It cruised at 70 miles per hour without vibration or overheating. Power delivery stayed smooth rather than aggressive, which helped protect internal components over time. Today, a clean CB450 typically sells for around $5,000, with original examples often valued higher. That price reflects long-term trust. In 2026, the Honda CB450 remains a clear example of how Japanese motorcycles from the 70s were built to run hard, last long, and keep going when others quit. Number 3. Kawasaki KZ650. The Kawasaki KZ650 arrived in 1976 and quickly earned respect in the US as a motorcycle capable of handling serious mileage without falling apart. It featured an air-cooled inline-4 engine producing around 64 horsepower. Wet weight came in near 500 pounds, giving it a plan. Feel on highways while keeping the engine relaxed at cruising speeds. The KZ650 lasted because it wasn't pushed to extremes. Kawasaki tuned the engine below its limits, allowing it to run cooler and smoother than many rivals. Many owners surpassed 60,000 miles without opening the engine, an impressive figure even by modern standards. On American roads, the KZ650 felt built for distance. It cruised easily at 75 miles per hour with minimal vibration. Maintenance stayed simple thanks to air cooling, carburetors, and accessible valves. Today, clean examples usually sell for around $6,000, with original bikes often bringing more. In 2026, the Kawasaki KZ650 stands as proof that Japanese motorcycles from the 70s could deliver real power, real mileage, and a lifespan few bikes ever achieve. Number 2. Suzuki GS750. The Suzuki GS750 debuted in 1976 and became a landmark in the US for blending performance with long-term reliability. It used an air-cooled inline-4 engine producing about 69 horsepower. Its durability came from careful engineering choices. The engine was overbuilt with a strong crankshaft, robust bearings, and a gearbox designed for longevity. Cooling remained effective even during extended rides, and regular oil changes kept valve train wear minimal. Many owners reported reaching 70,000 miles or more without a full rebuild, an impressive number for a mid-70s sport motorcycle. On American roads, the GS750 handled both city and highway riding well. It cruised comfortably at 75 miles per hour and could push higher speeds without overheating. Maintenance stayed straightforward with easy carb access and no complex electronics. Today, clean GS 750s sell for around $7,000, with original bikes often valued higher. In 2026, the Suzuki GS 750 remains one of the clearest examples of a 70s Japanese motorcycle built to last and still deliver decades later. Number 1. Kawasaki Z1. Introduced in 1972, the Kawasaki Z1 quickly became a U.S. benchmark for both power and longevity. It featured an air-cooled, inline-4 engine producing around 82 horsepower, a serious figure for its era. The Z1 earned its reputation through heavily overbuilt components. The crankshaft, gearbox, and valve train were designed for high mileage, and careful tuning allowed the engine to run cooler than many European rivals. Owners commonly reported exceeding 60,000 miles with only routine maintenance such as oil changes, carb adjustments, and valve checks. Remarkable for a 1970s superbike. Maintenance remained simple, and widespread parts availability in the U.S. helped keep Z1s running long after the 70s ended. Today, clean examples sell for around $12,000, with original bikes commanding even more. In 2026, the Kawasaki Z1 remains a perfect example of a Japanese motorcycle built to deliver raw power while surviving decades of real riding. And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming content.